It's funny because when I'm on Instagram, I don't know if you know this, but like it'll suggest like one of your prior posts. Like while you're just watching stories, it'll suggest a prior post of yours, and it'll be like, turn this into a new post, and it'll like suggest music. And whenever I see that and I hear myself start talking like out of nowhere, I like swipe away so quickly. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to hear myself. It's like painful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially since like I'm editing the cuts. But there's been a couple of times where I'm just like, all right, let me just delete this. As long as the podcast still seems like it's in flow, I might delete something. As long as it's not nothing important.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Now I know. Now you spilled the beans. That's funny. But yeah, like listening to yourself. Once you like listen to yourself a little bit, then it's whatever, you get used to it. But like hitting somebody with their own like videos of them talking out of left field, it's super cringe. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's really difficult. What do you gotta get? You gotta fix something. But anyway, so oh man, the fitness journey saga continues. Actually, today's a good and a bad day. It was good because today's Thursday, so it's like we're doing like a little 20 or 30 minute midweek update, and I was 208.2 on Monday, and we were talking about how, you know, I felt like I had a legit breakthrough because I was really realizing that, you know, what I felt like was a deficit was really only like probably maintenance, or like that smallest deficit ever.
Yeah.
And so I started actually hitting like that 500 calorie deficit for a few days, and I was 207.7 on Tuesday, and then I was 207.2 on Wednesday. And I was just like feeling really good, feeling really lean, like watching the scale go down and like getting less fat in pictures visibly is a great feeling. And then last night I had every like 2 months, I think I've told you this before, every 2 months I have to go to the eye doctor and get like an eye shot, like a literal injection into your eye, into my eyeball, which I don't feel it because they put like 30 numbing drops in before. But the next few hours are just like painful, and you're like eye waters and you can't see anything. And so like, I'm like, I used to go to Chick-fil-A because it's on the way home. Somehow they let you drive after this thing, which is kind of crazy, but whatever. I haven't crashed yet. So I didn't go to Chick-fil-A, but it was even worse because I came home and I like started eating healthy, and then I just should have just fucking forced myself to go upstairs and lay down and take my nap, but I started snacking, and I hit myself with a full fucking snack binge out of emotional pain and suffering, and I thought I might get away with it, but nah. This morning I was 209.6. So, you know, obviously I didn't eat 3 pounds of junk food. Like, so it's kind of misleading, you know. The scale number, it's not as bad as the scale suggests, but it's really crazy how I went from 207.2 to 209.6. So I went up 2.5 pounds in one day just from eating a bunch of like potato chips.
Was it just chips, or do you have soda or anything
Well, there's
else?
like these, I had 2 of these poppy sodas, which are only 25 calories, and they're like very low sugar, so they're pretty good. And then we have like these lesser evil potato chips. Probably had like 4 or 5 servings of that. What else did I have? Had an Entenmann's donut. Had like half of a donut, and
the
then
donuts are pretty heavy, right?
Threw it out, huh?
The donuts are pretty heavy, right?
The Entenmann's donut, yeah, they're delicious. I'm trying to think. I don't think they're like that crazy. Like, they're not like the Entenmann's donuts are the ones from the box. Like a legit donut. Like, have you seen these gourmet donuts that they make? These stores have these days, like these big fat ones with like. Those are like those are like 600 calories per donut.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think an Entenmann's donut is probably. Let me ask Siri actually. How many calories is an Entenmann's donut? 220, I think. 190 to 300. So I think
It's not too bad.
I think just the traditional one with the chocolate frosting and whatever is probably 200. So I didn't even have the whole thing, but I just was like looking through my, because it's been like 2 weeks now, 3 weeks that I've had anything. So it's kind of
Yeah,
just like
just went
a,
off.
a feast.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Honestly, I'm actually curious to see what the scale stabilizes to tomorrow, because if I just have a normal day today and I eat just like normal clean foods like I have been, um, I'm curious like what it will go back to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean your deficit for the week will be up a little bit, I guess. But if you just stay consistent till Sunday, it shouldn't be too bad. By the time you reweigh again on Monday, it should be better.
Yeah, it's just funny. And I still have, they put this medicine in your eye, and I still have like this little bubble floating around my eye in my field of view. So
How deep is that needle when
I
they?
don't know, but you can't feel it. I don't think it's very deep. I mean, I don't know. You can't feel it at all.
Yeah.
If it was bigger, then I'm sure they would have to do more. Like, all they do to numb you is they just put drops in your eye. So it can't be that big of a needle, to be
But is
honest.
once that's done, when the process is finished, is your like vision on that eye a little bit more blurry?
So what's happening in my eye is there's like fluid in my eye,
Mm.
and I had like this injury like 10 years ago. So if the fluid like gets too much near where the injury was, then it can cause, I already have like a blurry spot in my vision,
Yeah.
but if the fluid were to like get there like heavily, then it could blow the blurry spot like way up. Like I potentially could lose all my vision in my eye.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's why they're giving me these shots to keep that fluid from encroaching.
Yeah.
So
What is
actually,
that from? Just genetics or?
I had surgery. I'm very myopic, meaning my vision is like I'm really farsighted or nearsighted.
Yeah.
So it makes you high risk. And then I wore contact lenses, and I got like an infection in my eye, and then my retina detached, and that's where the blurry spot came from. And then they had to do a surgery to fix it, and it's a whole situation. So yeah, so it's pretty brutal. I actually had it in both eyes, but in my left eye, we caught it early,
Yeah.
so it never affected my vision. Once it was repaired, it's stable. So my left vision is basically fine, but my right vision has a blurry spot in it, which is just brutal.
Did you start off again at 212, 213?
212 like 0.2 or something.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. But yeah, like in the morning, it's also crazy. I don't know if you're noticing it too, but like when you first wake up in the morning and then right after you pee,
Yeah.
like I feel like it's probably everybody, but like, do you notice how like that's the best you're gonna look all day?
Yeah, that's when you're empty. And
You're not hydrated yet, like
yeah.
all
No,
the water's out of your system.
and this week I don't know why I've been a little bit more constipated. So when I woke up today, my weight I was up like a pound, but I know it's because I haven't gone to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting later today to kind of reweigh myself. Even though I'm not trying to pay too much attention to daily weighing, but I kind of have in the last couple of days because I wasn't walking as much and I wanted to like check my weight more than I normally would in the past. But yes, I'm gonna drink a lot of water today, and hopefully I'll go to the bathroom fine and check the weight.
I think that the daily weight is good when you're really dialed in,
Yeah.
because there's not going to be as much variance. But I feel like the daily weighing is probably harmful when you're a little bit all over the place with your diet, because like if you eat like a really, I don't know, salty meal or just more processed, like even if you like are close to your macros or your calories for the day,
Yeah.
but if you have like a late dinner meal or something that's like restaurant food, maybe the scale could be messed up, in the next morning. And if you're if you let that affect you, but I feel like when you're really dialed in, like when you're eating your meals at the same time,
Yeah.
you're eating super clean, you're eating basically the same shit over and over again, I think then it's much more of like a slow and steady downward.
Yeah.
It's not so like,
Still trying to dial in. My food is fine. Like my diet is good. I'm just trying to dial in, trying to become a little bit more organized with my time since I have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm still haven't completely been hitting my workouts every morning, sometimes in the afternoon, but I'm trying to just get back in the rhythm of it's all right. I have to do it between like 7 and 10 before I come out here. This week I worked out a couple times in the afternoon, but since I'm eating like I would say like I have a window because I'm still kind of like doing like the 16-hour fast thing. Whenever I work out in the afternoons, I don't feel as strong, kind of because I've been working throughout the whole day, and maybe I'm a little bit more tired. So I'm trying to really get in the habit of just knocking out the workouts early in the morning. For yourself, you're always hitting it in the morning, right?
Yeah, actually, so I'm still trying to tinker like a little bit.
Yeah.
I was kind of tinkering with maybe doing lifting in the morning and cardio in the afternoon. I don't think that's sustainable because for me, 2 gym visits in the same day is probably it's just too much. I don't think it's feasible. So what I actually started doing this week, I think we talked about it on Monday, and it's actually really helping me. I mean, it was doing really good Monday, Tuesday. Um, I'm doing my lift, and I try not to look at my phone at all while I'm doing my lift. So I do like 50 minutes, just not as fast as possible, but I try and get a good sweat going, and then um, I'll take a protein shake, like a low calorie one, nothing crazy. Like the ones in the gym that they've been taking are 160 right there in the refrigerator at the gym. So I'll finish my lift. I'll drink a protein shake right there. I'll look at my phone for like 15 minutes on a bench on like one of the little seats in the gym. Just kind of recover and just rest for 15 minutes. Drink with a protein shake. Respond, do some work on my phone, whatever, and then just do my cardio, sauna, cold shower right there. So that's my current adaptation. Whereas before, I was basically not. I was doing lifting, cardio, sauna, cold shower, change, go home, and then wait another hour until I really got starving, and then I would eat. So I wouldn't be basically eating anything until noon. And
how long do you think when you think about your whole workout routine daily, how much time do you spend on fitness?
if I can either do it, it's somewhere between 2 hours or 2.5 hours for everything.
Yeah.
So I usually get to the gym at 8, and I'm out between 10 and 10:30. If I really need to be efficient, I can do it all in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And if I'm just kind of like taking my time and I don't have much on my calendar that day, and I can go a little bit harder on the lift, then I push the lift to about. So basically, it all depends on. The only thing that really changes is how much time I spend lifting.
Yeah.
If I condense the lift, I can do that in 45 minutes, and if I take my time, I can do it in basically an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay. Actually, when I think of because you're talking about chips, I had some chips yesterday, but they were a little bit on the healthier side. It was like apple cinnamon baked chips. It wasn't too bad. I looked at the calories. I probably ate 120 calories.
Was it a single serving bag, or did you?
No, it was a big bag. Just my roommate, he's also trying to like be a little more healthier, so he bought like some healthy snacks.
How did you know that you only had one serving though? Or
well, it says
were very careful with how many you had?
Yeah, it says like I think it was like 4 or 5. It says like 4 or 5 chips, and it shows like the amount of calories. So even though it's kind of like depends because there's certain chips that are bigger.
Yeah, of course, but like at least if you're like at least looking and paying attention to it, or it says like 1 cup or whatever, you pour them in. At least you're not going to be like 100 calories off. You might be like 20 or 30 calories.
No,
off.
yeah, like right now, everything I eat, everything I consume, I'm checking the calories. Mostly because I already know what I'm eating, so it's just like when there's something new. Like last night, I saw those chips there. I was like, all right, let me let me see how bad it is. Let me check if I can actually have this. And then I checked, and yeah, like besides that, the rest of my food, I already know like the servings. As long as I'm measuring correctly, I'm just putting it within the Chronometer app, so I'm already dialed in. So it's just really like new foods that I'm kind of like really checking.
Yeah, like actually, so I love having like a coffee drink in the afternoon, like after my lunch, and I was having like a latte from Starbucks. We talked about this on one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, it's like 250 calories for a latte," and I didn't realize it. So now what I'm doing is I'm making my own at home, and it's mostly just almond milk with like a teeny bit of half and half.
Yeah.
So the whole calories is probably like 60
Oh wow.
or maybe 100, but still, like, that's still
It's a
cutting.
lot.
Even if it's
Yeah.
100, still cutting another 120 calories out of my diet by switching the routine up.
Do you feel like having that instead? Does it like as far as like filling you up? Does it feel like the same?
What, like this?
Yeah, compared to the other latte.
Well, I don't really drink this. It's funny because I never really realized how many calories a latte had, but
Mm-hmm.
then I'd have lunch at noon, and then I'd maybe be going to the casino to play cards for a game at, like, say, 2 o'clock, and I'd go to a Starbucks drive-through on the way,
Yeah.
and I'd pick up a venti latte, and I would drink it, and I would drink it from 3 to 4, and I wouldn't have no appetite. Like, I wouldn't start getting hungry until 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it makes sense because that's another 250 calories of milk that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
That's enough to keep you not hungry for a few hours.
Yeah, it could be kind of like one of my meal replacements is between like 250 and 350 calories, and it's pretty. I mean, it has a lot of vitamins, but it has like healthy fats. So I think like the healthy fats kind of fill me up, so I'm not feeling it as bad. So yeah, like 200 calories can definitely sustain you.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's even if you're not counting like every single calorie to a T,
Yeah.
it's if you're counting, like, if you're really really calorie aware, I guess is a good way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a massive difference.
Yeah,
Massive.
because like even if you're off by a little bit, the next week when you let's say if you want to increase your deficit, you're gonna be like depending on the same measurements you were doing before, you're gonna dial it down a little bit.
Knowing what your calorie count is at for the day,
Yeah.
within 100 is like, that's the only way to lose weight, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I have in the past I've tried to kind of just eyeball stuff, but that's been like a big mistake. There was one month where I was going so hard in the gym and I was just eyeballing my food instead of like measuring it properly, and I think I lost like maybe like 1 or 2 pounds, and I was going crazy in the gym and I was walking like crazy, and I know it's because I probably was.
You probably thought you were eating 2,200 calories and you were eating 2,900.
So sometimes I was just like taking a scoop, but I was probably taking 2 or 3 scoops. And
Yeah.
You could easily like triple your freaking calories with honey.
Yeah, it has a lot of sugar in it too.
Yeah, exactly. I seen a video and I was like, let me try it as my pre-workout. And I did it for like 3 weeks. And I was like, why am I not losing weight? I was eating way too much honey.
So have you been weighing in every morning or no?
This week I was, just because the last week I didn't walk as much. So I started walking a little bit more this week because of last week I didn't lose as much as I wanted. So this week I have, but like I said, I don't know, this week I was a little bit more constipated, so I haven't really like gone to the bathroom properly. So I know whatever I'm measuring myself at right now, it's not perfect.
What how has I know your neck has been fucked up from sleeping, but what about your sleep schedule itself? Is that back on track?
Yeah, the other day I think I mentioned it on the other podcast. I fell asleep like at 8 or 9 p.m., which I haven't done that in probably since I was a kid. Maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time.
And you slept through the whole night? Like, was it an accident, or you just like tired and you went to sleep?
No, as far as like sleep goes, it was fine. As long as I get between 6 to 8 hours, I feel functional. Whenever I do sleep more than 10, I feel pretty lazy. So for me, it's like between 6 to 8, like max 9 hours.
Nice, nice. So yeah, going back to where we're at, it was like we're basically a quarter of the way through now. I think we're at like day 25. Now is the time where we really need to like make a huge amount of progress. Do you feel like you're dialed in and ready to go, or like do you feel like you're behind schedule, or where do you feel like?
Compared to the past, I do feel like I'm a little bit behind, but it's only because in the past I didn't have like my schedule is a little bit more open, a little bit more free. So sometimes I could like be in the gym for 5 hours and okay, I don't have anything else to do today or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I have a little bit more responsibility. So that's what I was saying. What I mentioned earlier is just trying to figure out still like how to organize my schedule. Partly because since the stuff that I'm doing with you, a lot of it interests me a lot. So afterwards, even when I'm done, like I'm probably maybe I should be sleeping, but I'm still like on my phone looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Because like it interests me, especially like yesterday with the camera stuff, and I was like, oh, I can apply this to the vlogs, or if we do stuff in the streets or in the gym. So I was consuming maybe. I don't know. Maybe I just get used to it in a little bit. Also, it's the first couple of weeks, and my body. I haven't worked out in a few months, so my body's still getting used to that. My sleep is getting better, so my body's also adjusting to that. But I can definitely, I can dial in a little bit more in the gym, especially this week because I'm just getting back my steps. So I think I just have to consistently wake up like at 7:30 to 8:30. Sometimes I wake up at 9 or 7. So I think if I just put an alarm 7:30 and
Yeah, you definitely want to routinize or standardize, I should say, your wake up times.
I'm gonna try to structure my schedule like that a little bit better. And even if I'm tired, I'm gonna just hit the gym at 7:30 or.
You should just have a bedtime.
Yeah.
And just stop using your phone at that time, and hard stop at 11, whatever. You'll be asleep by 12 for sure. Yeah. You'll be fine by 7. Be in the gym by 7:45.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you should definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tomorrow. What's today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna just put an alarm at 7:30, 7:45, and hit the gym.
Even if you don't have like enough time to get like a full workout in, or if you're like not, or if you're feeling sore or whatever, I would get in the habit of going to the gym and just doing like stretching.
Yeah, something.
Get loosened up, just do a few pull-ups, do some push-ups, do a couple squats, lightweight, just kind of like get the blood flowing. And you can accomplish a lot in a half an hour.
Yeah, I think that's what I do. Whenever I don't feel it, I can always go back to calisthenics. Like I can do millions of pull-ups and push-ups.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like lazy about that. So yeah, just going in there doing that, maybe hit a little like sit-ups, or maybe run a little bit on the treadmill.
Like what happens to me on a day where I'm not feeling great, like if I might have a little bit of a bug or something, and I'm like feeling like under the weather, or if I stayed up past my bedtime, and I'm feeling like a little bit cracked out from like not sleeping a lot, what I'll do is I won't skip. I'll just go and I'll just do whatever I can that I can get through. And I do it mostly for the routine.
Yeah.
Because if you just skip it completely, then your like body and your mind is just like, well, what's going on? Like, what do I do with all this extra time? Are you going to be just lazy?
I think that's the biggest issue with me right now. And it's the most important is just doing it no matter what and just sticking to a routine. Because I feel like sometimes when my routine is thrown off, I kind of just like lose where I'm at. I'm just like, all right, what should I be doing right now? Or I should hit the gym, or should I hit the gym in maybe half an hour or 20 minutes? Or, all right, let me just eat something real quick and then hit the gym.
I like training fasted, like just caffeine, load it up. It's easier for me because I have no choice. I have to take Sandler to school. We have to leave the house by like 7:30.
Yeah.
So he has to be dropped off. We can't be late. And then obviously so like I have to pack my stuff, and I have to get my gym clothes on, and I have to get my clothes for after the gym packed, and I have to.
Yeah.
When I used to be, I don't mind doing it in the morning, but in like a perfect world, I do that all that stuff the night before.
Yeah.
Just so that there's nothing left to chance. But I have it down to like kind of a science now. It takes me like 3 minutes in the morning, and I just do it while I'm having my morning coffee.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think I would really, really just get into a habit of like, don't even leave nothing up to chance. Be like this. I wake up at 7, I go to the gym at 8, or I leave my house to go to the gym at 7:45.
Yeah.
I'm in the gym from 8 to 9, get to the studio at 9:30, set it up. You know what I mean? Like I would just have that shit on fucking autopilot if I were you.
Yeah, I'm going to just force myself next time, even if it's like maybe didn't get the best sleep or whatever, I'll just force myself to hit the gym. So the next night or the following, same night, I'll just be a lot more tired. I'll fall asleep
Yeah,
earlier.
you might have to suffer for like, honestly, like 2 nights.
Yeah.
A lot of times I think it's just one. Like, for example, let's say you don't go to sleep tonight till 1
Yeah.
and you wake up at 7 and you get to the gym by 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's not going to be the best day ever, but it's not going to be that bad. And I promise you, like, tomorrow night, you're not going to fall asleep at 1 in the morning. Like, your body's going to want to go to sleep by like 11:30, 12.
Reading at nighttime does put me to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Reading at night's the best. And I just do an audiobook too.
Yeah.
Like, if I really can't sleep, or for some reason I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, I just put my AirPods on and just listen to a book. And I usually fall asleep in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I'm going to add that because I used to read, but I'll read like in the daytime. I stopped at nighttime because I was falling asleep. But I'm going to add that as like a little hack to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Reading at night is amazing. It's great. It's so calming, and it puts you to sleep so fast.
It's a little bed night story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really solid. But I think you gotta like really fucking standardize your day. Like having a concrete bed, especially what we're doing, the challenge.
Yeah.
Like having
that reminds me of the Instagram story you posted. Maybe
I don't remember what I said specifically, but I was just like, you sound like even a grown man needs a bedtime.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if you don't have a bedtime, then your life is like, it's like in the military. There's lights out.
Yeah.
Right? Like lights are fucking out, and everyone's going to some people are going to fall asleep in 3 minutes. Some people are going to fall asleep in an hour, but that's fucking lights out because we're up at 5 and we're fucking back to work, right? Like if you don't have a bedtime, then you're not respecting tomorrow. Yeah. I think is the right way to look at it. Like if you're just like floozing around at the end of the night, like, oh, like maybe I'll fucking watch this video and maybe I'll watch this game on the West Coast, or maybe I'll play poker for another 2 hours on my phone. You're just like flailing around like a fucking fugazi, and you aren't, and you're disrespecting tomorrow, right? If like imagine you had to fucking do, imagine you were meeting, I don't know who's like your like,
or if I have a business I'm trying to close
imagine you were meeting your idol tomorrow at like 7 in the morning, right? Like I don't know if you're like Messi or soccer or whatever, but like imagine you're meeting your idol and you're gonna play soccer with this guy at 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking go to sleep and you're gonna set your alarm early. I mean, you're probably not gonna sleep in that situation because you're gonna be so excited.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like if you prepaid for a vacation and your flight's at 8 in the morning, like you're gonna be taking this shit seriously, right? You're gonna be getting your sleep. You're gonna be setting your alarm. You're gonna have your bags packed. You're taking this shit seriously. And if you don't approach every night like that, then you're not taking tomorrow seriously.
The organization of like my responsibilities and how I'm gonna plan it during the daytime, and also realizing, like you were saying, if I'm going to respect the next day or my responsibilities, I have to know when to, all right, it's enough for today, let me go to sleep. I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Another reason I think it really matters is because when you have a bedtime, like my bedtime is basically 10.
Yeah.
I can push it to 11 and I'll be okay, but like when you have a bedtime, you can be like, you can't just like say there's something that you need to do today, right? You're like, I need to finish editing this video, right? And if you have a bedtime, you're like, I know that I need to, the worst case scenario, I need to start editing this video by like 8 o'clock because I know it's going to take me an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And, or whatever it is, like as a lawyer's perspective, I might need to like review this document and send an email to somebody, and I know it's going to take me about an hour, 90 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
And when you have a bedtime, you have to plan, okay, or I might have 3 things I need to do before my day is over, right? So you have to work backwards, and it forces you to plan your day. And then it forces you to plan, and then your next day is the same thing. Like, okay, I know that I have to do these 3 tasks before 8 o'clock because
Yeah.
And then I get to sleep at 10. And if I don't get to sleep at 10, then I'm going to be tired tomorrow and my workout's going to suck. And if my workout sucks, then I'm going to be, I'm going to be unhappy. So you really start to see how everything is connected.
Yeah.
And just like one lazy or bad decision can really like spiral and affect everything. So having these constraints is very, very crucial. Yeah.
This week is what I'm realizing as well is I have to, no matter what, I have to wake up at this time when my alarm rings, and I can't snooze it. I have to just get up.
Yeah. I think that's going to be game changer for you. I mean, that's,
yeah.
For me, I feel like I have the blueprint now. Like I know exactly what I need to do to execute to get down to 190.
Mm-hmm.
I might need to cut. I might need to increase the deficit. I don't really know, but at least right now, I know that for sure it will work. And I don't really. All I need to do is now for me. All I need to do is execute. I don't really need to change anything.
Yeah.
Or tinker with anything. I just need to execute. You know.
Yeah. Same thing for me. Like for working out, I know what I have to do and accomplish it. But now I have to like this factor of the whole like organizing my day.
Like you have to start the consistency.
Yeah.
You know.
No, yes, because it's been a while. It's been what has it been? Maybe like 4 or 5 years since I've really needed to sleep by a certain time. The last 4 or 5 years I've been working with you on certain projects, and then before that when I was working as a like software developer, and then I had the weekend job, I had to sleep because I was working 72 hours a week for a while.
Yeah, you should have to be in the gym. Just get to the gym tomorrow by 8:30.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the gym by 8:30, then you'll be done, and we'll be off to the races, and it'll just be better. We can make some gym content too, you know.
Yeah, that's last night I was watching this guy. He was vlogging, and I wasn't like, I was kind of just looking at his setup because he has like a little DJI camera.
Yeah.
And he has it facing himself, and or sometimes he'll get permission from the casino or wherever he's at, or he'll.
Which guy were you watching?
It's just I forget.
Wolfgang?
No, I watched him, but there's another guy, Vladez or something. He's in I think he's in North Carolina. I might be wrong, but he's not like, he's only been doing it for a little while, but he's been getting a lot of like views, and his stuff is interesting. So he'll kind of like have it like this. He'll have like in the top right corner, he'll have himself being recorded by the DJI Osmo, and then he'll have his camera like facing the board.
We're definitely I'm gonna go for a solid 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and see if I can be in the two. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much damage last night did. We'll see. I'll be happy if I can get into the 206s by Monday. So,
Yeah.
1 day at a time, and we'll take it from there. So that's a wrap.